Hi everyone, a quick update video since the move. I don't remember exactly where I left it in the last video, but it was definitely before the move. And then we moved December 19th, and it was kind of crazy, like the night before. Yeah, it's one of those things, no matter how much you prepare, there's always a lot of things to do last minute. So we moved on Friday. And so the night between Thursday and Friday, we basically didn't sleep. I slept 2 hours because Louis, my son, he woke up and he asked me to come to sleep with him. But yeah, fortunately I slept 2 hours. But Harumi, my wife, didn't sleep at all, which is crazy, but she's very strong. Not like in the raw sense that she can lift a lot of weight, but she can keep going and she can sustain on a very little sleep, it seems, without really crashing. But at some point, of course, she also needs to sleep. And then we moved the whole day. Fortunately, I brought the kids to school. So while we were moving, they were both, Louis was in the daycare and Marie was in school. It was the last day of school. We did the whole move. They finished at around 3 p.m. And then we drove back to the old address, got some more stuff that we left in the rush because they were loading up the truck. And then at some point they're ready, and then yeah, it's time to go. So whatever we were doing, we had to just drop everything and leave. And then so we went back to the old address, picked up some stuff. Harumi slept in the car, and then we picked up the kids, and then bam, we're in the new house. Fortunately, my parents and my brother were very nice. They came and helped us a little bit, setting up some furniture. And then we had dinner together for the first time in a new house. And then the next day, even my brother returned to help me build some kind of storage unit on the driveway for our bicycles. So far so good. The move was successful. We paid the moving company, and then we were in the new house. And yeah, I've been mainly occupying the kids. Harumi has been unpacking like crazy, and actually now already the house looks pretty much normal. But it's been 3 weeks, so yeah. And so now we're adjusting. The kids started in a new school. Marie, who is 5 years old, turned out to be super resilient. She kind of misses the old school, but there's never any crying. There's never any signs that she's down. And in the new school, she's making new friends already, and she was actually excited. She wanted to go to the new school. She's like, how many more nights do I have to sleep before I can go to the new school? So that was nice. And so Louis also had to start school for the very first time. Going from daycare to school. In Belgium, we start school quite early at 2.5 years old. But it's obviously it's not like academic learning. You don't learn how to read. You learn how to read when you're 6 and stuff. So it's still mainly playing. And yeah, Marie said some wise things. She told Louis, yeah, Louis, in the beginning school is a little bit difficult, but the more you go, the more fun it gets. So sometimes she has these kind of gems that she says, and surprisingly wise, which is very nice. So it's been very fortunate that Marie is so excited and flexible, because if she also felt down or had difficulty adjusting, the mood might be very different. And so Louis and Marie go to the same school, and during the play, like during the breaks, they're together. So, but then every time the break ends, Marie has to go to her own classroom and Louis has to go to his classroom. And so that's when Luigi actually has a difficult time. It's not when I leave, because then he's still with Marie playing on the playground, but that it's when Marie leaves to her own classroom that he actually has a hard time. But I think overall it's going well, and I bring them to school most days with the cargo bike, which they like. It's not a far ride. It's like 5 minutes ride, and it's an electric one, fortunately, because yeah. So talking about my vision adjustment during all these changes, So the first kind of period in the house was kind of exciting because everything is new, and you're still kind of on the adrenaline from the move. But then it's kind of visually hard to adjust to the whole new environment for me, especially since while you're unpacking, the location of things change all the time. Like Harumi keeps optimizing the layout, and it's very annoying that I put something somewhere and then it changes position, and I'm not good at looking for it. I don't look for things. I kind of remember where they are, and then I use my vision very minimally. And that's why, even if it's not optimal, often I prefer to keep it a certain way because I'm used to it, as opposed to optimizing it in the way that Harumi does, like keep changing position until you find like the optimal way. But I know it's better in the long haul. It's definitely, if you have children, you have a lot of things, so you need to be able to fit them all in a limited space. So it's great, actually. It's like really like Marie Kondo like skills she has. She can kind of look at a place, look at a spot or a space, and then think about all the things we have, and then she will find some kind of solution from IKEA or some other solution that some Japanese thing that she has, like to optimize the space in the closet. Or it's kind of amazing. And then now she made something in the closet that there's two levels for hanging clothes, like the low one, so Marie can actually pick her own clothes if she wants, and then the higher one for us, the adults. So she's very good at it, but to me it's very annoying to change everything all the time, so that makes me tired. And then what else? So another problem visually for me now is that I didn't get, like, usually school ends at 3:10, and then there's some kind of some after school daycare to keep the kids until like 4 or 5, depending on when you end work. And so I haven't arranged that yet because I wanted Louis to be okay, and make sure he adjusts well. And so that only will kick in March. So I'm actually bringing them to school at 8, and then I have to already be back at 3. And then in between I try to do all my work and like household things and kind of, and then my vision training also I try to do when they're in school. So I'm kind of burning out a little bit. And then also in the old house, we lived in an apartment, but we had access to other spaces in the house, like the garage. So we actually didn't feel like we're living in a small space. And then in some ways, everything was on the same floor in the apartment, and I could be in the living room working, and Harumi could be in another room working. And so now, I'm working in the living room and she's working in the living room, and then we're kind of I'm annoyed by noise easily, and then she's running around doing things. So I should set up, like, on the top floor there's a room that's not completely finished yet, where I could probably work, but it has no heating yet. And so for the moment we're all kind of stuck in the living room. So that's also like the noise, and then just the fact that I'm like running around all the time, trying to get all the household things done, do the shopping, do my vision training, do my work, and then also take a vision break, like take a little nap, because otherwise my vision just can't do it. Like I would just crash, right? So, but even then, so in the first week, I thought I'm doing it, it's fine. But then the second week, the fatigue builds up and I'm crashing, and it's kind of like I know this pattern, and then the more tired you get, it kind of sneaks up on you, and then before you know it, you're kind of burned out and you're kind of tearing up and you can't do it anymore. And, your muscles are all tense all the time, and your vision gets worse. Well, my vision gets worse, and it's just impossible to do anymore. So, and then kind of burn out and crash out and feel like you're not getting enough help, and kind of frustrating, because Harumi is obviously working as well, but sometimes you feel like, can I get some help? And then probably the other person also feels, because she's doing a lot of things like the unpacking, she'll probably thinking like, can I get some help? And I think that's a common problem in with couples with small children. Like, everyone feels kind of overburdened, and obviously everyone is doing their best, but still everyone feels feels very busy. And so yeah, this week kind of burned out a little bit. And actually still, so 1 week before the move I stopped the vision training, and then during the move I stopped, and then so maybe I stopped for 2 weeks just to get things done, and now I'm picking up again. But as I'm so tired, it's probably not good to keep doing it as I get more tired. So I should minimize the training a little bit so I can recover and plateau and find my bearing, and then try to build capacity again. And I actually had yeah, people are gonna maybe hate on me for this, but so I cannot talk to my vision therapist every day, or yeah, not even very often, because I'm doing it remotely. So I had a very interesting conversation with ChatGPT about my vision training previously, as I documented on the channel. But so in this chat, it has all my previous history, my previous so the vision training I'm doing now, and yeah, it just knows a lot, and it's just very, like, it knows a lot about me, my vision situation, and it knows just a lot in general. So sometimes when it's difficult, I like to go back and ask specific questions. And so now I explained the situation, I'm kind of burning out, and he gave me very good advice and very encouraging. It's always very encouraging. That's why people might get delusional using ChatGPT, if it's encouraging you with your crazy ideas. Some people just go crazy or do something unspeakable. But I think I'm not to that point yet, and I think the advice was actually solid, and it was actually nice to hear from an outside source. And it really, the chat with ChatGPT kind of improved my mood and improved my general outlook. So yeah, I can see why young people or many people use it as a counselor as well. I'm not recommending it maybe, but to me that really, I was down, and it's certain things my wife doesn't have she doesn't understand fully the vision problem, and we don't have time to discuss everything. And then yeah, obviously she's also not my counselor. So in this case, ChatGPT was the very good place to talk about it, and he gave some great advice. And I will make a separate video about the things we discussed, because I think it's maybe useful for everyone. So that's the update. We moved. I'm still adjusting to the new house, to the new situation. Also, another thing that changed, there were this in the old neighborhood, there were like the little things that made me happy and made me relaxed. You're just walking around, you know the places, you know the people, even though don't know the people super well. You just it is just kind of general stranger friendliness, and you see them often, and they know your kids a little bit, and just little small talk, right? And some people don't like it, but I kind of like it, because it gives me the illusion or the idea that you're part of society, and people care about you, and you care about other people, and you're just friendly, even though yeah, it's not that deep, but still feels nice, especially with little kids all the time. The kids are very spontaneous, so, and then you meet other people with kids. And I had this regular cafe where I went, and they know me and they know the kids, and then it's kind of like my yeah, just a place where I went. If I don't feel so well at home, I just went to that cafe, and then talk to the owner, or listen to the people, or just to change my mind, right? to get another mindset and to relax. And that really, it's a small thing, but it's more important than I thought, because that here I don't have that yet. And yeah, that old, like the owner of the cafe was like maybe 10 years older than me, and she had older kids, and then she would say kind of wise or good advice, and she has another outlook. So she was Italian, and we were living in a French-speaking city, so the culture was generally also different. And now we live in a Flemish city, so there was some stimulation in some way that here maybe I don't have yet, and there's some outlet valve I don't have yet, and some familiarity I don't have yet. And so there's no obvious places to go yet to get this kind of release of stress. And yeah, we'll see how that evolves. So I'm kind of missing my old neighborhood as well. But objectively, everything is all good, and I just need to kind of relax. And yeah, also since before the move, I didn't work a lot on my French book translation of Fixing My Gaze on the promotion of the book. I felt now I had to pick up this project again and work on it very hard. So maybe that's also part of the reason I burned out, probably, because if you release a book, there's only so much time that the media are interested in it. If you let it sit for 6 months or more, they're not interested anymore. And I released the book 3 months ago. So now is the time to really contact media, get interviews, make some appearances. And so on top of all the effort of moving and household and kids, I'm trying to do that as well. And for me, that's very taxing to combine all these things. And but the good news is next Tuesday, I have a phone interview with a journalist of one of the major newspapers in French-speaking Belgium. And so if that works out and I can have a proper piece in the newspaper, I think that will promote the French version of Fixing My Gaze, which is very good. It will start something in the public debate, and it will help make the book more known. So that will make me happy. So now I need to prepare very well for that phone conversation with that journalist, because French is not my native language. I speak it relatively well, but I don't want to get stuck while explaining. So I need to kind of look up, even though I translated the whole book Fixing My Gaze into French, I need to make sure that the vocabulary and some of phrases are top of mind to convey the message and convey just the societal issue of binocular vision disorders. So that will be exciting to see on Tuesday how it goes. So maybe I will make another video about how that went, and I will also try to make another video about my conversation with ChatGPT and how it helped me, because it's uncanny how well it understands the issue. And like, yeah, sure, it doesn't have consciousness maybe, but it's amazing how poignant the things, or how appropriate the things are that it's saying to your situation. So I'm sure many people already have experience with ChatGPT or Gemini, but still I'm amazed every day. And yeah, it's really a game changer. It's going to change so many things. AI, so we'll see how that pans out. So thank you for watching. Maybe it's a little bit of a long update. I'm sorry, and talk to you soon. Thank you. Have a nice day.